Hello, good wishes, Om Swastiastu, and greetings sport victorious. My name is Rahmita Salsabila. I'm postgraduate of Sport Education, State University of Malang. On this occasion, I will present swimming video for Learn to Swim in Ussually International School, Malang.
With accustoming to water, the most important thing is that the children consider the session as relaxation, while acquiring those tasks are the prerequisites for learning the swimming styles. They get to know the water, its properties and its laws. For example, that they can move along slower due to the resistance, or that gravity does not predominate and therefore we are able to float in it. They learn to blow out air underwater, which is very important for teaching movement later. To ensure safety and orientation, they learn to open their eyes underwater and master the task of floating and sliding. For teaching this, the best tool is game and playful exercises. Each step of accustoming to water, from submerging to sliding, can be taught with playful tasks and sportive methods. Getting to know the water. The aim of these games is for the child to become accustomed to water, get to know its specific features, move in it homely, and dip their face into water. Exercise. Walking and running forward and backward from one side of the pool to the other. Walk, run time exercises, arm cycling, collecting devices. Walk with finding treasures. Walking or running in water with an implement. Holding and pushing forward, then acquiring the implement. Submerging exercises. With submerging tasks keeping the principle of gradients in mind, first the chin, mouth, face, and then the whole head is immersed underwater. The objective is that children learn to submerge into the water without fear and able to perform tasks there. Exercise. Face washing. Putting face into water by hanging onto the wall, submerging with help by holding the wall or the teacher's hand. The task of opening the eyes. The opening of eyes is required for orientation and a sense of security. In case where the water is excessively treated with chemicals and irritates the child's eyes, we can allow the use of goggle. Exercise. While clinging to the wall, the student dives under the water and looks up the suction figurines glued to the wall. Treasure hunting. The task of exhaling air. Breathing is instinctive, so blowing out air is worthy of being taught to the children. Take in orally, blow out on the nose and mouth could be the motto. The children should learn the pace and way of blowing air out, so that later, when learning the breathing with the swimming styles, they commit no technical error and that movement is not distorted. Jumping. Jumping into water is the best way of developing courage. Observing gradualness should be performed first from sitting, squatting, and then from standing position. It is important that as long as the child needs it, we provide help. Gradualness is also important when providing help. Help first by holding the child's both hands and then only holding one hand. Following this indirect support may be needed. For example, the child holds the board provided by the teacher. Example exercises: diving into the water from the board, with a board, above the board, with a board in hand, jumping into water over an object floating on water. Gliding. Gliding motion is also a basic movement. It is named so because the movement is a glide merging floating techniques and foot movements. In order for the body to do glide, it takes step by step sequentially. Step 1. The condition of the body should be as relaxed as possible in order to float in the water. Step 2. Kick the wall first before making a slide motion. Step 3. Body position should be streamlined. The position of the body when carrying out of the streamline must be perpendicular horizontally by keeping the body as positioned as possible. The position of the hand locking behind the head with both hands stacked, the toes on tiptoe, and the head facing down on the floor. Freestyle. Freestyle is a natural, cyclical, crossed movement. It has the least steep body position, so it has the minimum of front resistance. Consequently, it is the fastest style. The first most important element of this technique, which mention should be made of, is the ideal posture. Freestyle leg work. Crawl stroke consists of small cyclic movements, a downward propulsive phase, and a passive upward lift. This alternating motion is completed by lateral moves, which provides the balance of the body. The rate of how much the legs open depends on individual conditions or anthropometria, but it is approximately from 50 to 80 centimeters. The propulsive phase of the kick is started by the sinking of the hip, which is followed by the movement of the thigh, and then the knee, the leg, and finally of the foot. In the down kick phase, the knee bends, the legs behind slightly, and then it catches up the foot movement with a fast whip-like movement. Step 1. During freestyle kicking, bend the knee for the down kick and straighten the leg for the kick. Step 2. Feel resistive friction wrapping around the top of the foot to gain traction on the water when kicking. Step 3. Finish down kick with a straight tension for an accelerated thrust forward. The most propulsive part of the freestyle is the arm work, which has two main phases, the underwater and the above water arm work. Implementation of hand gestures on freestyle must be continuous. Some swimmers use hands with a catch-up system. Then there will be a slowdown like Newton's first law. Hand gestures will be explained as follows. Step 1. Fingertips enter the air surface. Step 2. Early pull phase. Step 3. Phase on the final pull. Step 4. Recovery phase. We could swim the fastest if we did not break the movement by breathing. Apart from short course competitors, other swimmers do not really need it. For long course swimming, the technique of proper breathing is essential. The breathing technique is closely related to certain movement phase of the arm stroke. In the last phase of the arm stroke, at the end of the pushing, The swimmer starts to turn his head sidewise in the direction of the exceeding arm. This, of course, is in line with the turn of the body. As soon as the mouth line reaches the water, the swimmer makes a side move with his mouth and takes a breath. At a higher speed, a through of wave is created, which makes breathing easier for the swimmer. Breathing takes place in the delifrant phase of the arm stroke and in the phase of bringing the arm forward. Once the oral inhalation happens, the swimmer, in accordance of the body movements, refers his head into the water. As soon as the swimmer's mouth is returned to the water, he immediately starts the breathing out. The exhalation is carried out continuously and simultaneously through the nose and the mouth, which shall be continued as long as the following inhalation. If the swimmer fails to exhale the air completely, it shall be done into the water before the next inhalation. Approximately, swimmers use or inhale half a liter of air when swimming. Excessive breathing, the increase of the volume of the air inhaled, does not result in better air circulation, but the breathing muscles get tired of it. By the way, the freestyle breathing is the most difficult one out of the 4 styles. How often to breathe? We count it by the arm strokes. It may be 3, 4, 2, or even 5 or 7 when training. Which is the best? The triple one. Exercise to improve techniques. Freestyle swimming leg work. Freestyle leg work with swimming board to grip device with one arm, the other in low posture, swapping. The previous exercise, but alternating the board and the breathing. 3 left arm, breathing into the left, 3 right arm, breathing to the right. Similarly, it can be 2 and 2 or 1 and 1. The arms in each exercise meet in high posture when gripping the board. Side stroke swimming, or on release the hand strokes the sides of the body from the thighs. Freestyle shoulder touching, or on release when bringing the arm forward, the hand touches the shoulder.